But what is the exciting thing about that definition of an attitude? An attitude is a habitual way of thinking. Can't pick it. The exciting thing is, it's habitual, you can change a habit. If it's a way of thinking that is a habit in your life, what do we know about habits? We can change habits. It's not easy, but we can change them. So there is a way for us to change those attitudes that are in our life. Now, the fortunate thing that I had was that I had the number of years in marketing, and I watched people come in, and I put myself in there because I learned so much myself. We had a master personal development trainer in Val Fittler from Promar Systems, and his goal was to teach us how to grow in our businesses. Even though he's a Christian, his focus was in business, because many of the people weren't Christians that were actually in the business. And he taught us this thing that's Zig-Ziglar: change your attitude, change your life. So what he taught me was there's practical ways how you change those habits, which are called attitudes. And we're going to have a bit of a look at what's the practical way of doing that. And we know that choices are like sowing seeds. So if you begin to change the attitudes which begin to change the choices, you're sowing seeds out there into your life, and before you know it, your life is actually changing. And that is why Zig Ziglar is able to say, change your attitude, change your life. Because in the sowing of those seeds, you're growing a harvest up around your life. So, why don't we... Pent.
Oh, thank you.
Behind me. Let's just quickly throw some attitudes up on the board. Okay. How is that, Toby? You able to get that? Okay. Let's throw some attitudes up here, good ones and bad ones.
Encouragement and discouragement.
Call it in. And this.
Holier than thou.
So self-righteous.
Holier than thou, yes.
So we'll put that over here.
Self-righteousness, yeah.
So this would be
Humble.
Humility.
Ability.
We've got halfway through, I realise. Okay, so throw some more.
Selfishness.
Selfishness. So the opposite to that would be generous. I suppose generous of heart anyway.
Jealousy.
Jealousy. So jealousy. What's the opposite to jealousy?
Love.
Almost linking in with encouraging, and yes, love, like you're saying. Love, hate and love are pretty obvious ones, eh? So jealousy, you can either be jealous or encouraging. It's sort of the opposite. It's a hard one to sort of pin down. Any more?
Trust. Trust.
Trust and mistrust, actually. How about thankful? What was it, mate?
It's ungrateful.
Ungrateful. That's right. board's not big enough.
What for greed? Greed.
Greed? Yes, greed. Yeah, greed and generous sort of go in there. So, because selfishness is really greed, isn't it? In a lot of ways. Self-centered? Self-righteous. No. Self-centered. Others-centered. What's the word to sum up others-centered? What is it? Compassionate, I suppose. Compassionate.
Merciful.
Yeah, compassion, mercy. Okay, one more. Actually, two more. Content.
No peace.
What is the opposite? Grumpy.
Grumpy. Grumpy.
How often do you come across? Okay. I'll tell you another one. They should have had this one, but I'm not. I'll wait till later. And there was one other I wanted to put up there. What was that one?
Joyful.
Pride. And humble. Okay, there was another one I was trying to think of.
Joy or happy or something like that?
Isn't there a certain amount of pride can go on the good side?
Yes, that's a good point. It's an interesting one. All right, I'm thinking of the pride, the haughtiness type of pride, and yeah, it's one of those words that you can sort of cut down the middle.
Pessimism.
Optimism and pessimism. That was the optimistic, pessimistic. Okay, that'll do us. There is many more. But how many of you can see that this side of the ledger, they're good things to have in your life, aren't they? And this side here, you can see that they have a destructive element to them. You know,
You can have peace in it.
I was going then. I got distracted by Grumpy, but anyway. Yeah. But these are damaging attitudes. So, what? And if I had more time, and I suggest that you do this in your own life, so you draw up a. Now, this is a truth and honesty time. That's why you've got to do it when you're by yourself. Or you can ask others for their input. So it's probably better that you get the inspiration from God. But see, this is an area where you can begin to look at your life and go, I need to grow in this area. Because if you go in your life and you say, well, a lot of the time I might be a bit self-righteous, but actually people who are self-righteous don't usually know that they're self-righteous. But someone else has to, actually God has to really speak into your life to know that. But one that, you know, I have moments in my life where I see selfishness, and I have to work on that. But I know that there's many times that I'm encouraging, so there's a tick on my side, and I try. I want to grow that part of my life. I'm proud to be humble, but humility is what's humility? This is humility. People think that humility is doormat. Humility is teachable. Teachability. It's not having thinking that you have all the answers and you won't listen to anybody else. Humility is being able to allow someone else to speak into your life and not get threatened by it.